Welcome to another edition of Healthier, Happier You. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine. I have my co-host and founder, Bethany Montecalvo. She's with us today, and she must have got my email. We're
What?
dressed in black.
I know, right? I'm usually so colorful. But now that it's winter, I need to go back to my normal black and blues.
No, I didn't even know that. It was shocking when I saw you come in like this, but I didn't send an email. I was busy drinking green tea, as everybody knows. This
Of
is Young
course.
Hyson, and I have lemon in there.
There you go.
I have a couple other things like colloidal silver, and I put in, let's see what else. I actually used some Himalayan salt.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, just as a
That's
little different
for
combination.
you. Yeah.
Definitely, but stay healthy. A lot of people I know are sick, and you know we're about healthy tips, so I figured I'd start right into that. And that's one of the things that I do almost every day. Matter of fact, after I finish this, it'll be 12 cups of the green
Wow. Wow. Go ahead.
tea. No, I don't need the bathroom yet. Okay.
Not yet,
We'll
right?
be fine. I'm very good. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving, Bethany, and I appreciate your mom and you liking stuff of mine. So
absolutely. We
Thank you.
love it's funny because it's neat how you can kind of check up on people that I know you, but I per se don't know you, let's say with your family. So it's cool to see that. So I enjoy
Well, thank
that.
you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
likewise, I enjoy the exploits of Bethany
Oh, yes.
and
yes.
her friends and the Holistic Honeys. Don't forget to like that.
Yes, please.
And thanks for the likes on Healthier, Happier You. I think we hit 850, and we've been doing this since January. So
Yeah, and this
thank
is
you.
our what? Our ninth show?
I think ninth
This is
show.
our ninth show. So we're going pretty strong. We're thankful for you guys, and we hope you like watching us, just hanging out with us.
Well, if you want to know, even though I promote my Pittsburgh sports
Right.
line subliminally, and,
Right.
and by what I say, a lot of people are also fans of our show. And they
Yeah.
said they want to see more of them.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
That's
we're
awesome.
getting feedback. So maybe in 2016, we'll go to twice a month if we can fit it in our schedules.
That would be cool. Yeah.
So now let's hear something about you since I dominated this first few minutes.
No, well, this is my new little fun toy. This is called Good Life, and I recently got a water system that I was saving up forever, and it's an alkaline water system. And I don't drink out of plastic, or I'll drink out of glass, but it has an airtight seal that you put it in to where it keeps everything like nice and fresh in there. And I love it. It keeps it cold for 24 hours.
Well, you know I'm about alkaline. That's why the lemon every day when I
Right?
get up, and pH water that I
Yeah.
purchase.
Yeah.
So
So it's really important. So that's my new little toy that I got.
it's a healthy toy.
It is a healthy toy. I love healthy toys. But for Thanksgiving, I was not that healthy, Alan. I just want to be honest with you.
Well, this is like True Confessions. If you watch our show, we do tell the truth. And everybody
Yeah.
knows I eat healthy, but I eat a lot of food, and it's not always the best. But somehow, if you work out and you try,
Yeah, you gotta have, the good days and bad days. Well, my family is kind of like separated. So my uncle lives in North Carolina, and of course I'm here with the rest of my family. So we were like, what's a nice halfway point for us to meet? Well, there's a rest stop called Tamarack, and for rest stops, they're pretty fancy.
really.
Yeah, Greenbrier, which here Greenbrier is like a rehabilitation center.
Yes.
But out there, it's a nice fancy resort where you could eat and there's good food. So this is probably the best rest stop you could find, but it's a halfway point. He drives 3 hours and we drive 3 hours. And it's not about the food, it's just hanging out, being with your family.
Sure.
But that's where I spent my Thanksgiving.
On the road.
On the road again. Yeah, so that's where I was. But it was fun, and I was able to be with my family. But I ate.
What did you eat? That's what I want to know in a rest
Since
stop.
I don't eat meat. I didn't eat turkey. I had salmon in place of my turkey, but I had pumpkin pie twice. I had cranberries that were delicious, and I had sweet potatoes. I actually brought my own sweet potato casserole in fear that I wasn't going to be able to have anything healthy, so I brought that and a few other items that I encapsulated in my purse with my water, which it was in a mason jar, which people thought it was moonshine.
Well, they like you down there then.
Yeah.
Sure. As you're going through West Virginia.
I fit in so well, so it worked out great.
Perfect.
Yeah,
That
so
sounds
that's what
great.
I did.
That's right. I forgot you don't eat meat.
No. I haven't had turkey in 5 years.
Well,
Isn't that crazy?
yeah, that is crazy. I couldn't understand doing it. Just like I normally don't post food photos on Facebook,
Yeah.
but my daughter Casey goes, Dad, people are always doing it and they're annoying, so why not put yours up? I
Oh, it
said,
looked beautiful.
well, it just come out of the oven.
It was
I
perfect.
posted it there. That was the 14-pounder.
So good.
Took a little extra time because I have an electric oven that came with the house, and they don't always cook at the right
So
time.
how long did that take?
About 4 hours and 22 minutes.
Okay, was this your first time?
No,
So you're a professional.
no, they don't pay me to do
Oh,
that.
okay, okay. But you knew
but-
what you were doing.
Yeah, and plus I found out young in life that I like to eat,
Yeah.
so I learned how to cook, and I found out most of it you can just make up on your own, or you read a cookbook and then
Yeah.
make it your own. You know how I
Exactly.
copy stuff all the time, so.
Don't we all with stuff
Yeah.
like that?
Then I
Yeah.
put a little trick. I buttered the skin so it made it a little crispier.
That brown that you got going on there?
Yeah, that's why it looks so nice there
That
too.
looked pretty professional to me.
Yeah, and then I ate a little poorly with stuffing and cranberries. I love cranberries. Casey and I love the cranberries, so I get the two different types, with
So good.
all in
yeah.
the sugar sauce that it
Hey,
has.
it is what it is. Well, my mom, I wanted stuffing so bad, but the next day we went to my sister's to eat, and I nicely demanded a gluten-free alternative stuffing. So I sent her a link, what was okay, what she made, and $25 later, instead of going out and buying the $2.99 stuffing, she was
Right.
like, it's $25 later, and I have celery and carrots. And I was like, well, let's be positive. And I said, it says it's only supposed to take 15 minutes. And she's like, no, it takes 15 minutes to cook. Prep time is 45 minutes. So she's over there sweating, like chopping the celery, getting everything done.
You must
And
be special in your family.
I know, I felt so bad. I felt so bad. But after an hour and plus, it was the best stuffing I have ever had.
And you didn't bring a sample in.
I ate it all. I housed it in 2 days. It was so good.
Did you?
It was so good. Yeah. Delicious. So it's worth it to try new things. I mean, I didn't have to do it.
I know. I know. That's usually
So it
how I
worked
used to
out.
operate, but being a single parent for so many years now, and
Yeah.
my son and daughter, my son was home, so we ate,
Yeah.
and we had leftovers, and then the leftovers were gone.
Yeah.
So it was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all worked
That's
out.
the best part is leftovers like the next day. And I don't even warm them up. I'm okay with that. I just eat it straight out of the container.
And I
in the
tried to
fridge.
be healthy like you, so I got organic corn.
There you go.
So we had
Non-GMO,
organic, right?
unmodified. That's
of
good.
course. But
Yeah.
a lot of the other stuff you can't. Even the sweet potatoes that I had, you can't guarantee that. And
You can't even find sweet potatoes in McMurray. You can't, when you go into Giant Eagle, they don't even have organic ones.
so our advice is try to eat healthy.
as much as you can.
And like I say, on a day like that, I was telling people to eat more turkey, but in your case, eat more food.
Yeah.
Because
definitely.
that's the
Eat
day
more
when
food.
everybody's cooking like you can't believe.
Oh.
Like gourmet cooks. Look at your sister there.
Yeah.
I'm proud of her on stuffing.
I know. Isn't that awesome?
You could make a meal out of that.
You can. And then really, like, I have my cheat days. Cheat days are so important because some people
Give a
eat so
shout out to
clean.
Smoking Jim because we're trying to get him under 350 pounds. It's not working out well.
Buddy, you look great, but we want you to be healthy, and I believe in you, and we need to get some good recipes for you. Not just putting stuff in out of the freezer and in the microwave.
No,
Some
he
good
doesn't even
stuff.
cook. That's worse.
How does he eat?
He goes out to eat at Burger King, McDonald's,
Smoking
Kentucky
Jim.
Fried Chicken.
Not okay,
Don't
buddy.
do that.
Not okay at all.
Well, he's one of our biggest fans and my co-host,
Oh,
so
we love him.
but we got to get him healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. He needs to be on the
We
show,
can't.
and we
no.
could feed him healthy stuff and watch his face.
We could do that, but
See
he's
if
still
he likes it or not.
from our first show. He's still taking like a tablespoon of baking soda and putting it in a cup of water, and that'll
job, buddy.
that's a start. But you don't need. You
Yeah.
only need like a quarter teaspoon in your water, an 8-ounce cup.
But
Just so you know, it'll balance your pH.
But at least he's doing something good.
Yeah, he's trying, and he does
Yeah,
watch the show and
yeah.
wants to know when we're going to do more shows. So we don't know yet.
Yeah, but we love you. Yeah, absolutely.
Any other tip before we go to break?
No, we're just going to, it's going to be like kind of a fun day. We're just going to talk about pictures, even though this isn't our holiday show, but we're going to just talk about pictures and some things some tips from an awesome friend of mine to prepare if you're getting your picture taken. So it's going to be great.
Well, thanks, Bethany.
Yeah.
Don't change that dial. I just like saying that. We'll be right back in about a minute. Enjoy the commercial, and we'll come back with a great guest that's going to help your photography. Thanks for coming back. We're ready to bring another one of our featured guests on, and we just couldn't stop talking, but we're ready to go. Bethany, will you introduce your friend and guest?
I would be honored to. Today, I'm so excited to have my friend Michael Edwards on the show, which is even crazier. He just drove from North Carolina to be here. Well, not just to be here, but
Why'd you say
this
that?
is
I
his
thought he
first stop.
did.
Well, we could say that, but this is the first stop among many, and I'm so excited to tell you his story, and we don't have much time, so I want to get to it. So let's kind of share like how we first met. You and your wife were my youth pastor, and that's how we met.
My wife's been in youth ministry for 30 years.
Yeah.
And we were your youth pastor, and that was a couple of years ago.
Many moons ago.
Well, I want to thank you for
Yeah.
taking the time out of your busy trip to come here and be on our Healthier, Happier You show.
Yeah.
This has been great, and I was excited about that. I've known Bethany for a while. In fact, her lifestyle has challenged me in her healthy habits. And so in the last 60 days, we took up a challenge, and so that's what we've been doing. We've been eating absolutely healthy food, clean everything, and just making sure that...
Let me interrupt here because I couldn't wait.
I know this.
How much weight did you lose?
I've lost 30 pounds in the last 60 days.
That's awesome. That's
Congratulations.
so awesome. Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. How did you go from transitioning eating your normal lifestyle to even understanding to eat clean? Was it a book? Was it something that you read?
It was a combination of things, people like yourself, and just an understanding that I didn't want to just do a diet. I'm looking at my age now and realizing that I want to be healthy and in good
lifestyle.
shape. Yes,
The big
it was a
picture.
lifestyle change. I wanted to be healthy and in
Happier
good shape.
You. That's why you're on this show. Let's go. Come on.
Because my daughter now is at that age where she'll be getting married sometime, and I want to be in good shape. I want my wife and I to be in good shape so that
Absolutely.
we're not the old fuddy-duddy grandparents that sit on the couch.
That's
and,
right.
I want to be able to. I've always been active, and I want to be able to get
You're gonna
out
stay
and,
that way.
and do things. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you look awesome. You look like a different person in a good way. You just look healthy.
Well, good.
Yeah. Yeah. So I commend you guys for doing
My
that.
daughter
It's
said,
amazing.
"You look so handsome." I thought, well, what was wrong with me before?
We won't get into
You
those
just
things.
look more handsome, healthier handsome now. So it's great. So that's awesome. That's awesome. That's one of your many passions. But I kind of wanted you to share how you got to be a photographer, because he has shot me many a times, and I've been around so many, and you just capture something that a lot cannot. And I don't know what it is, but you're just able to do something magnificent. And I just wanted to know how you got to this place. You said that you actually modeled in your own runway when you were younger. Tell us about that.
when I was in college, I did some runway modeling. I actually started out as a mannequin model.
And tell us where this was at.
This was in Lubbock, Texas.
Okay.
Okay.
I was, which is not the mecca of the
That's why
fashion
I'm
industry.
asking that, because
Yeah.
you talked about San Antonio, Texas,
Yeah.
and where you spent high
I
school.
went to Texas Tech University, and I
Okay.
was working at a clothing store in the mall called The Ranch.
Nice.
It sounds like mannequins and runway type
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Definitely.
Well, I was.
You don't have to
setting up
explain.
a-
Go ahead.
setting up a fall display one day and then putting these mannequins in the window, and I said I could stand in the window and be a dummy, and so I didn't tell my manager that I was doing it. So I took off the leather coat that was on the mannequin, stood in the window, and assumed the position of a mannequin. And
Wow.
nobody knew I was real until I moved. And
That's how it's supposed to be.
find a way of moving
To where,
so
yep,
that
that's so
it
cool.
looked robotic. And
Mhm.
so people would be walking by and not noticing it until they saw something in the window move that they didn't realize what it was.
That's
So-
cool. That's cool.
So you like to have some fun at other people's expense, though, too.
Well, yes.
Okay.
There
Just
was,
checking.
There was some interesting stories that went along with
Give us
that. I
one
had-
story with that, because you have so many. I'm going to have to
You do,
focus
yes.
both of you on this, because I can see what good friends you are.
Yeah.
So
there
give me
was-
one story there, and then we'll move on a little to the next
It
chapter.
was everything from people throwing things at me in the window. One kid came up and put a mouse on my shirt sleeve that ran all the way up around
real
my jacket.
mouse.
A real mouse.
Because you know we have these computer things now.
Wow.
And the girls that worked at the store next to us decided they were going to do whatever it took to break my composure, and they came over and unzipped my pants. It didn't work. I remained calm.
That's
and,
right.
Well, we got a couple stories out of that. I need the next chapter.
So you got into runway.
Yes.
Well, I did some runway, did some mannequin, and then after leaving college, I went to work for a modeling agency
Okay.
and started.
Can you
ma-
mention the name, or it's a small
it
place
was
in
a
Texas?
small little Texas agency in San Antonio, and I was kind of in managing it and a scout, knowing how to. I don't know where I got my fashion sense from.
It's not from your family?
I'm an Army brat. My mom was a nurse. My dad was a 30-year Army man.
Maybe it's the uniforms.
It-
You saw how
could
crisp
be.
they were.
Well,
It's a get, like, you have it or you don't. I believe you can learn to be fashionable, but if you look at designers, it's just something in their brain that's able to look at something and they're able to make art or beauty out of fabric.
I like design.
Yeah.
And
Tell
I-
people how you started then, because now you're in the business and you're actually running the show on some of the things, and you're scouting. So now,
Well, I was
You
sitting
want-
in my in the agency one day, and just kind of going about normal business, and I thought, you know what I really want to do is design a line of women's clothes. I loved the industry. I love everything about fashion and design, and I thought, you know what, I want to take this to a different level, and so I sketched out some designs and took them to Dallas and got the patterns, the initial patterns and samples made. I took the samples to the Dallas market, the New York market, and the LA market, and they hit. They did pretty well. Within 2 years.
how did you know where to go? Because
just thinking
you
that.
got, I know you were. There's-
This is before the internet.
well, that's
Yeah.
I understand that.
Is it just connections that you made through that you had an understanding?
Or you made phone calls.
Made phone calls. I'm inquisitive by nature, and so I just started asking questions to anybody that I
Yeah.
could think to ask questions of. And when I went to have the patterns made, I talked to the pattern makers about
Yeah.
how to begin to go from there. And so one person led to another, and before long,
And you're persistent, so you kept moving forward
Yes.
with it because
Yes.
you were obsessed with it, which that's what happens to most entrepreneurs that are successful. You just don't quit.
well, that's been the case over everything that I've ever done. Is you just don't give up.
Yeah. Yeah.
It makes sense. So now you're accepted in Dallas, LA, New York. What do you do now?
Well, I was selling to, it was a moderate to better line of resort wear. And so we were selling to resorts all up and down the Gulf Coast, in the Bahamas, and
And that's what happened.
and that's what happened.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then,
And fast forward now,
yeah.
I mean, through it all, in working with my my wife's youth ministry, and working with young people, we've had a heart for working with young people forever.
Always have. Yeah.
And so, kind of fast forward all of these years, and I hadn't done much in fashion.
Wow.
I learned fashion photography because
Okay.
when we first started doing my clothing line,
We needed photos.
I had a
Right.
hard time. I needed good
You needed
marketing
portfolios.
photos.
Interesting. Yeah.
And so this is where I discovered there's a dilemma, because I went and talked to different photographers, had different ones come in and take some pictures, but most of them looked like either portraits or senior pictures. They looked like
What was the
just-
look you wanted to in your mind at that time? That's what
saw what would come off of Madison Avenue.
So
would
you
come out of
visualize
New
that
York.
for your stuff.
Fashion.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all there's a very different style to fashion photography than there is to portrait or just about any other style of photography, because it's about the product. It's not about the model.
Right.
So many people that think they want to be a model, they think it's sitting in front of the camera and smiling pretty, and a lot of photographers cater to that person that just wants
Right.
to sit there and smile and be pretty. And
It's really not about them. Like, they're just part of what's showing off to be sold.
They're
you know?
they're part of the team.
Exactly.
The model should be part of a team with a makeup artist, a hairstylist, a photographer.
Well, isn't that what she
That's
does?
exactly what she does.
Now, I want to interrupt you guys again because you know I'm doing that all the time. I would like you to get us one of the photos with the photo shoot with Bethany, because our fans of Healthier, Happier You would love to see that. You
Yeah.
pick out whatever one you think is stellar. I like them all. I couldn't have picked any one that I would
He-
say is the best.
Yeah, he actually picked out from my makeup. He picked it out. My clothing, my jewelry, my accessories, the outerwear, everything that he had, he picked out. And
Well, I
he
assumed
told
as
me-
much, but I want to know
He
if you
cur-
would give us one of
Oh,
those
yeah,
to post up
yeah.
here on
But
the
I'm
show.
just sharing like how photographers don't do that. That's like not the norm, or at least for around here. We set up a board on Pinterest, and he would be like, "This is your looks," and then I would constantly be sending him outfits, and he would say, "No, do this, add this, put this under this," and you take so much time. And he shared with me, "What do you want to sell? Like, what is this picture trying?" You know,
Great
to
points.
convey. And then everyone on Facebook would be like, "Wow, where'd you get those boots? Where'd you get that?" And I was just like, "Nailed it. That is what you want." It's
It
not
sounds
saying
like you
me,
have
it's
an
saying that.
expert who
Oh,
has the
absolutely.
insights and
Yeah.
experience, and he's channeling that through you to go out to
Yeah.
your people to buy the products.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
sounds like a great
absolutely.
combination.
Yeah,
I know I was amazed at the photos.
I was amazed by the photos. Me too. Yeah.
No disrespect
absolutely.
for you. You're,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
a pretty woman here,
Yeah,
and we all
absolutely.
know that. So.
But, well, not what that came out wrong. I was just saying,
Ah,
yes,
okay.
absolutely. I understand, but he's able to
Okay.
create something different,
Right.
which is cool. You could always be someone different whenever you are modeling, which is so nice. You could always become.
Well, it helps to have somebody that is not only beautiful. You can get somebody that is beautiful, but doesn't know how to do anything. I call them one-trick ponies.
Yeah.
They
Same expression.
the same expression, and they just sit there and smile, and they think that's what they're supposed to do. But in working with Bethany, it was great, because I would say, okay, now this is your emotion. This is what you need to feel, because this is what
You're
wearing.
like channeling her inner beauty also
He's
to
a
come out
very
in the
good-
photos, what you see physically, and then you can see what you're guiding her inside and the
Well,
personality and
And
the
he's
emotions.
also able to relax you. Sometimes a lot of times you're not going to get that. You're going to get someone that you're not going to connect with, and they're a little bit harsh. And it's really hard. But when you have someone that does chill you out, it's really awesome to be able to be in that state
I think
So-
it's about enjoying yourself and having fun. If this isn't an enjoyable process, then you need to find something
What's
else
the point?
to do.
Well,
Isn't that why we're here? Yeah.
I hope you
yeah.
had fun because we got about the 2-minute warnings on. I know you do sports photos and everything, but we need some tips
tips.
from you.
Yes.
This
some
would be
tips.
for, first of all, for when you're getting a photo, and then an amateur like me with my smartphone,
Yeah, just a couple
what
of
I would
things.
do to get a photo.
Everything from if you're looking to be a model, find somebody that can really help you develop that. Don't take your cues from what you see just on Pinterest. Look at ads and look at what those models
Madison
do.
Avenue, etc. Right?
Yeah, take a whether it's Forever 21
Yeah.
or
What
whoever
you
it might be. Take those ads, and that's the look that you want to get, and you want to find a photographer that can get you that look.
Get as close to that as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
And the same thing with a photographer. If somebody wants to be a model, don't take pictures of them as a portrait, because if you're going to be a portrait photographer, which is amazing, I mean people
Right,
people do
absolutely.
beautiful portraits,
Sure.
but that's not fashion photography and that's not model photography.
Well, I'm glad you
Right.
explained it because I didn't understand that exactly like you put it out there.
Yeah, there's a big difference.
Now, one thing that in taking pictures, one thing that you can do is get different perspectives. The amateur will take what's called a 5'10" perspective,
Okay.
because the average male is the eye level is 5'10".
Okay.
So they always take it standing up from eye level.
Listen to this closely, guys.
Find
okay?
varying
And girls.
perspectives. Find varying perspectives, above, below. And remember, it's not there to get just the model.
Right.
When you're aiming the picture at them, what are you selling in that shot? Is it the jewelry? Is it the makeup? Is it
So that'll be your focal point.
right?
Okay. See, I'm understanding
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
a
you're
little
getting it.
fashion
You're
there.
getting it,
I
yeah.
got some of that.
If-
We're going to have to wind this down. We probably got about
Let's
30
share
more
his
seconds.
Email and how to
Yes.
get a hold. How can they get a hold of you? What is your Facebook pages, Twitter, phone? If you're okay with giving that.
Okay. My phone number is
And slow, because I'm
Yes.
getting hard of hearing. So just tell me again.
phone
Yeah,
number
twice.
is 336-693-9042.
Okay.
My website is michaeledwards.photography.
Okay.
No .com at the end of that, just .photography.
I understand. There's different categories now that they eliminate
Yes.
the
Yeah.
.com.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
from business to sports to you name it with different
Yeah.
combinations there. Okay, we got that.
Facebook is M Edwards Pro Photo.
I'll like that page, and then I'm looking for you, so then I can post some of this the
Okay.
show up for you.
Instagram is M Edwards Pro Photo,
Yep.
Okay.
and Twitter is M Edwards Pro.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
a lot of pro in there.
also, we didn't chat about. You have to look on his page. Is your lighting on the M Edwards Pro on Facebook? He lights for huge events, but it's like sick. It's amazing how he's able to light. He did it for
Oh,
one
by
of
the
my-
way, how do you like the new lights since you got in here compared to what we had?
Yeah, that's true. I
And
love
you're
it.
new to it, but you say they're okay.
I look tanner. It gives me a little bit more color everywhere.
I know. I look paler now.
Well-
Mine's fading. Sorry.
Those are
No.
great. The REM lights and everything works
Yeah.
really well.
And
Yeah.
thanks to Dave Cable there. We got to give a shout out to him
Dave's
in Bethel
awesome.
Park.
Thank you.
And we're going to have to wrap this up, Michael and
Yeah.
Bethany.
Yes.
All we have is a closing remark. I want to thank you for taking 16 hours to get to Pittsburgh
Yay.
directly, no stops. Bethany, always a pleasure.
Yes.
I'm
yes.
Al Levine, the talking machine, and I'll let Bethany close it out.
Yeah, I'm Bethany Montecalvo. We are here on Happier, Healthier You. We thank you so much. We are grateful. We hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And until next time.